Welcome back to the mill. It's Sunday today. I'm doing this on the GoPro because I've got to get a video out hopefully tomorrow. Don't know how I'm going to upload this. Computer's not unpacked, so I thought I'd give you a little tour of where we're at. We've only done a day's work since arriving here. We got here on Friday, obviously now Sunday, so we did some work yesterday. Lovely day yesterday. The mill is looking good. The roof on the left there got a lot worse over January and February. So we left in December, so that's gotten substantially worse. The slates up there have gotten pretty bad with the weather. There's a lot of snow and not too much wind, but more than enough that it could handle. So we've got all my windows are still boarded up and working well, which is fantastic. I'm super pleased with that. So that's the mill lathe, which goes down to the wheel. Obviously we're at the back. I've got to clear up all this grass. There's a septic tank under here which we need to dig up, which is what that pipe comes down from. You've seen the car before. We're arranging for that to go away. Yesterday we dug this ditch here. So we've got the water bore here from the previous owners. They dug the bore, but they never really used it. So we've got a pump down there now. We haven't powered it up, but we're going to put a post probably about where that is with our pump controls, and then an IBC over here, which the hose will pump into, and then we'll have a float switch which will switch that on and off, and that'll just drain down through a hose which we're going to put in a pipe running down our ditch to the mill. I've got some pipe there. Running it here because we'll put the 4-inch pipe down, which will give us a lot of room to be able to put bigger cables and bigger hoses and stuff down it in the future, because this corner of the mill is going to be our utility room, which will have all the water treatment in it and power treatment. So beautiful view up on the hill. The hill's covered in cloud at the moment because it is raining. Okay, so there's our 4 sections of pipe. So for now I'm just going to run it to the kitchen window. So the kitchen window is going to put a couple of taps into. Looking up here, we've still got loads of growth on this, which is probably going to start sprouting soon. Already is starting to sprout a couple of those. We lost some of the grain hoist sides, so they're down here now. So over winter we lost about half of that. There was cladding all the way across there, but as part of our phase 2 planning permission, we're going to be demolishing this and rebuilding it basically. It's too rotten. You know, you look at the wood, it's just all gone. So that's my dehumidifier drain hose from the mid-floor, which is dripping away nicely, which is what we want to see. Down here next to the truck we have the water wheel, and we've got a pump in there. That was a project in December that kind of didn't get to finish. I've got a pump there with a hose on it. I'm just going to drain into that field, but the pump stopped pumping. It makes noise but it didn't work, so I think it got some vegetation caught up into it. So we have to try and rake that vegetation out and get that pump running again. Because what I want to do is just keep this drained a bit while we're trying to dry out the mill. Then once the mill's sorted, it doesn't matter if we've got water in there. It's just it doesn't drain under this bridge very well. So it's not doing what it's meant to do. So I've got that to sort out. I've got to clear up all of this. I started with the hedge trimmer which we bought, just clearing this. We got some lovely stones here, and the heater's just kicked off. So inside we've got this great big diesel heater, trying to get some heat into the building basically. So I've got a dehumidifier there behind it. We're up at 18 degrees now on this, which is awesome. Still full of rubbish. So that fridge is trash from the previous owners. We've got the mill machinery here, which I don't think GoPro is going to cope with. I am carrying a little light though, so got all our mill machinery here, which it's probably going to be the last part of the project. I really want to restore it, but realistically we have to make so we can live in here first. But it's all just rotten. It's just so rotted. All of this is just crumbling to dust, basically. So yeah, we've got that. Come through here, we've got our big vacuum cleaner. The GoPro doesn't like these lights I put in, so sorry for the flicker. So we've got the big vacuum cleaner, so we can start vacuuming all this out. PPE and stuff. Garden hose kit for putting a garden hose on that window. Camera gear, loads of camera gear, and a nice hedge trimmer. Got the 54 volt DeWalt hedge trimmer. That's the kiln there, and that's the opening to the kiln. We're going to probably open that completely up. Our plan will be that we're going to have a walkway through there, so that will become a walkway through to the kiln, which will be our bathroom, downstairs bathroom, stairs going up, utility room in that back corner, as I mentioned, sort of like just a sitting room off to the side here, just sort of like a little library nook, I guess. But because of fire regulations, we will have to have some doors across there, so we'll have to close that in. We're going to have our kitchen over here. And that's going to become, that opening is going to become probably shelving on both the bathroom and the kitchen. So we've got our stairs, which is missing the bottom part of the stairs. Boarded up windows. You can see there's still plenty of water coming in, but that's dripping out of this wood, basically. This wall is very, very wet, and I'll show you why in a second. But all of this lintel has to be replaced because it's just crumbling to nothing. Luckily, the stone above this course, these couple of courses which are falling apart, seems to be okay. So that's good. Very steep and terrible stairs. So that's the grain hoist, which I've boarded up because that would have been completely exposed. It's one of the last things I did, so it's not a particularly good job. Another dehumidifier here. All of our machinery, all the grinding wheels and blowers and everything. The chimney here is looking a bit wet, but there's not a lot we can do about that right now. These are the floors, which are really terrible. When we left, there was water all over this sill, dripping down the wall. So it looks as though, while there is some moisture there, my boarding up has at least helped, because it was quite rainy yesterday afternoon. And that's looking really good. I haven't actually looked through any of this myself yet. I haven't got up here with a light, I've only just got the lights unpacked. So this corner, unfortunately the roof above here is where it's really bad. This is the corner where the roof is really quite damaged, so there is a lot of water running down the walls here. Not much I can do about that. That window was completely open. Looks really good. This is really sad. This is just completely eaten to bits. I'm really sad about that, because that's one of the historic pieces of machinery. So this is all just crumbling away. It's just that was a floorboard. That was one of the floorboards from over there, which I pulled up. They're all just crumbled to nothingness as soon as you touch them. This is all my debris from December when we boarded everything up. Luckily these are still looking okay. So these are doing grain shoots coming through from the kiln, from the drying floor of the kiln. But like, I don't want to get too close, but you can see like some of these beams just don't even reach the edge. So I've got templates cut, which I brought up with us, so we can joint those in. The floors here are completely rotten. The floor is missing there, and this is the reason why that downstairs lintel and wall and even the joints above are so bad, because this is cement. So they've got this cement on the wall here, so as the moisture from the rain and that comes through the stone, it can't get out the outside. Sandstone is porous, but it can't, like normally it would have mortar joints there, and it just can't get out. So with the cement on here, the water just basically runs down the inside of the wall, I think, and it's just all pushing out the bottom and all pushing out the top. It's got nowhere else to go. It can't get out through that cement, which is why it's so incredibly green here. But that's what we've got the pressure washer for. Going upstairs again, we've still got, like, you see how green this is from where the cement is. It's pretty tragic. So we're going to get into this with a mortar rake and angle grinder and try and find where the stone lines are, and we've got the SDS hammer as well, so we can start smashing some of this off. And we've got hammers and chisels and everything, but you can just see how wet this is. Unfortunately, also above here, the roof joint in there, basically, we lost a couple of slates on the roof at the peak of there, basically, in that valley, and we lost a couple of slates there over January and February. So we're still trying to get that sorted. This has opened up even more, but I didn't board this up because that was fairly well sealed in December. But we've got a little bit of ventilation at least for the diesel heater. Still got all the junk from the previous owners, obviously. That's going to have to get dealt with. That goes into the kiln. So the demolition of the kiln is one of our top priorities right now. Getting the pressure washer in to clean the walls downstairs so that the girls can come in here safely. And then demoing the kiln is going to be our next thing pretty much. We just need to get water in here, and we need to do some cleaning, and then we can start demoing the kiln. We've got 1.5 tons of wood in the truck, which is all the plywood and 2x4s to put underneath the stone to try and support it as we cut it up. So this is where the roof is broken, or falling apart upstairs on the roof. So the slate is, there's lots of slates missing. You can see light through the sarking boards there. So we've got quite a lot of moisture coming through. They've got that bucket there, but it's not getting emptied, so it's kind of pointless. We might see if we can put something there with a pump perhaps in the meantime while we're trying to sort out the roof to catch some of that water. But this is as far as I dare go, because these beams are not safe and the floorboards on top are not safe. But yeah, that's what we've got to deal with. And this corner is dealing with the same problems with the roof. It's basically that back roof section leaking, which is causing all of this verdant green. Not sure how well that comes up on the GoPro. I'm not going to be able to color grade this footage because I'm just going to post it directly, I think. So yeah, floorboards there's just nothing left of them in places. Like over here, you can basically go straight through the floor. That's when we had a photographer come out here to get us some photos and video as the sale was going through for our architect. He kind of fell through the floor a little bit there. It's not ideal. So there used to be a bathroom here, hence the plumbing fittings. So this used to be a bathroom right here where I'm standing, and then there's a little storeroom over here. We've got a hose going up which goes to a water tank up there. We're going to get rid of all of that. We're not going to do water tanks in the roof. We're just going to do directly pumped water and probably instant heat, hot water. So yeah, this is what we've got to deal with. Lots to do. This whole floor will be my office down the end there, the entryway over here, Juliet's bedroom here, bathroom where the bathroom was before. Very, very small single bedroom here, which is probably more like a storeroom than a bedroom in reality, but you know, real estate agents will call it a bedroom. I call anything bigger than a closet a bedroom. So I've got to get rid of all that concrete on these walls inside and out. And that's about where we're at. There's a lot to do, but it's going to be pretty fun, I think. I'm not going to go into the kiln because that's screwed shut and I don't have a screwdriver. But it is really gross in there, as I'm sure you've seen from previous videos and photos. But yeah, that's where we're at. Fire extinguishers, loads of diesel. We went through 20 litres of diesel yesterday trying to get some heat into the building, which is great. It's really warmed the building up. It says it's 25 degrees in here now. So that's working fantastically. It's big diesel heater, which is just going to help the dehumidifiers work. It's going to help just get some of the moisture out of here, especially once we start, you know, using the pressure washer, because the steam washer is just going to add quite a bit of water, but we've got a plan for how to mitigate some of that. Lovely mold back here behind this fridge. Looks delightful. But that's where we're at. This is all rotten back here as well. So this is this back corner here, behind here is where that concrete shed is on the outside. We're going to be demolishing that as part of phase 2 and building a pantry sort of mudroom extension on the back of the building, which we think we'll get planning permission for based on other things the council have approved on other buildings. This, I don't know if this is... yeah, that's cement. Oh, that is sopping wet. That just feels... it's so wet. So very wet. But this is all that water running down from the broken roof above. This is all lime in here. But I think this is cement on this patch here. So we're gonna have to cut all of that out. That grey stuff's definitely cement. So we've got to cut all that out. But we've got the great big wheels. This must be if this wheel isn't 6 foot wide, I would be shocked. Like, it's taller than me. Anyway, that will do, and hope you enjoy.